Okay, everybody. I think for the second time, we may have got this right now. So let's see if this is set up properly or not. Wow. Of everything that I can do very well using the internet, using my computer, everything I can figure out very, very easily. The simplest things like doing a live stream seems to be the hardest thing. So I'm gonna try again because I kind of figured before this was live just now, I talked for 10 minutes or 9 minutes, and it was I was just talking to the camera, if that makes sense. So strangely, it was working, but it wasn't working. so yeah, so I'm gonna. Oh, I've got it the wrong way around right off the bat. So I was going to talk about me getting this new Wi-Fi router today. So for anyone who watched the very painful live stream a couple of days ago with my wife in the live stream, and how it didn't work and it crashed and the computer switched off, and then I couldn't get the microphone working, couldn't get this camera to work. I decided to go to the internet people, I guess. What do you call them? It's basically like an office that we've got here in our town. And I went and bought a new router. Router. I think that's the right word. TP-Link Archer C54. Now, I basically went and paid for this. I would love to think that someone would send me one of these in the mail and I test it and tell you how amazing it is, but that's not the case. My channel's not like that. So I guess I'd want free food more than I'd want a free internet router. So yeah. So now the crazy story part about this is I went and about, I guess it's more than a month ago, I went to the store to the office, the internet office, I guess, and told them that, we're having problems. It wasn't fast enough. There was issues. Maybe we had a very old router. This was the one that my wife had for 10 years since she first moved into this building originally. And they kind of said, yeah, you should probably get a new one, get something that's more modern, that's got more features, or I don't know, more things that are on the back of the box. All these things down here, whatever they do. It's all in Russian, so I don't really know what they do. So I guess I should Google it and see what the brand is. Now, the crazy thing is when we looked at it a month ago, okay, so not giving the exchange rate because it's just too confusing for everybody, I guess. It was 2,450 rubles. Now, I went to buy it today, and it was 4,800 rubles. So it had essentially doubled in price in 5 weeks, 50% higher, which is just crazy. Doubled in price in 5 weeks. Now, I know that, the situation here is not great, if you want to call it not great. The price of things are going up, in the stores like they are around the world, right? So wherever you are in the world watching this, prices for petrol are going up, prices for food, prices for electricity, water, gas, whatever you have. And here they basically said that generally across the board, prices have gone up between about 10, 20, 30%. But this has doubled in price to 4,800. I wish I had a photograph of the price on the wall, because when I saw it, so I went there on my own to the store, right? So I went without my wife, and I called her to speak to the lady in Russian, right? To have a conversation with her, to ask her what's going on with the pricing. So and she said, look, there's nothing that she can do. She just works there. She's like administrator for the office. She does all the accounts and things like that. And she was a bit shocked at the well, I was shocked. My wife was shocked. She's like, oh, I told you 5 weeks ago when we were here, we should just bought it right at the same minute we were in the store. I just told her that I want to just Google them and look them up. And you know what people want to do, right? You want to go and look which is the best model. This one's better. Are they charging me too much for it? And then what do you know? It's doubled in price. So 4,800. So if you were to figure out the US currency now is a little under 100 rubles for a dollar. So it's gone from $25 to $48, which is, it's hard to kind of gulp, you kind of, if you walked in not knowing the price, what it was 5 weeks ago, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? You'd just go in there, that's the price they are, buy what they've told you to buy, we recommend this one, this cable, plug it in, everything will work, and it would be great. And it's obviously not. So, Bearable Cruising, how are we going? And I see a couple of other people live as well, a couple of other people in the stream as well. So I'm not sure who else is here. Bevel says, "Hey Russell, gas has gone has gone down a little bit here in the Bay Area, at least near where I'm located. Hello, and it is $5.25 a gallon now. So yeah, I guess this oil price is kind of the big factor, right? I mean, what I always wonder. I mean, they explain this every few months. They go over it and tell you what this is why it is, this is why it's not. And the thing is, it's the spot price of oil is kind of that factor in how the price is at the petrol pump. But yet, the oil has come from wherever in the world to get to your petrol station or gas station. And, that's the price, right? So, but in Australia, like in Perth, we have a price cycle for the fuel. It used to be every 7 days. So we'd have Cheap Tuesday, they call it. And then on Wednesday overnight, so when if you were to put petrol in Wednesday morning or Wednesday night, then it would basically go up. And then you'd have 6 days then until it goes back down again to Cheap Tuesday, or Tuesday night. It's the lowest price of the week. So now they've got 14-day price cycle. So it's 13 days to get back to Cheap Tuesday again. And then that Wednesday is the highest price of the 14 days. And it stays like that. And then it drops off again. And it's just crazy. I say everything's crazy, right? And I should just keep saying everything's normal. And, I guess what everybody thinks is normal or when it was normal, I think it's hard to kind of put a perspective on it, right? I mean, it was normal last week. It was normal 6 months ago. But yeah, I want to just show you that this is my new router or router. I think it's router, isn't it? It's not router. Wi-Fi router. So it kind of looks like one of those oil rigs that they've got off Texas and in Galveston when I've been there. You know how you see them like with these are called derricks, these kind of antennas. It looks like an oil rig. I don't know. It also looks like a spider in a bit of a way. It's such a simple thing. The actual one that I've replaced from the older one looks actually a little bit better quality, a little bit better built. And that one's 10 years old. So yeah, welcome everybody who's in the live stream, the impromptu live stream, the not scheduled live stream. I just thought the fact that I've just plugged all this in, I've set it all up, I did the speed test, I put the cables in the right direction in the other. The thing is, the router's in the other room. So I'm relying on it going around the corner through the door here to the next room. So yeah, David says minimum wage in the United States is $7.25. I guess that's per hour. Hasn't changed since 2009. Big business tells us our standard of living. Yeah, $7.25 an hour is very well. I guess it's low if I compare it to Australia. I think Australia is something like somewhere like $10 or $15 an hour. I think it's very age dependent in Australia. So if you start work at a fast food place, like we're talking about McDonald's, right? So if you start there as a 16-year-old, you've got age based minimum wages. So if you're 16, 17, 18 till 20, I think till 18 or 18, I think, then you're considered adult wages, if that makes sense. And then a lot then varies considerably on your time of day that you're working. So if you're working like a 9 to 5, you'd have a different hourly wage. If you're working after 6 p.m., you've got basically like higher rates, like time and a half. On Sundays, you get double pay. I was working in supermarkets overnight in Australia, where we were doing refitting of the new, well, old new supermarkets to new supermarkets, and we were award wages. That's what it's called when you're on an award. So I think it was $27 an hour, if I'm not mistaken, was the starting hourly wage. Then if you could work on a Sunday night going into Monday, it would be as high as like 50 something dollars per hour. You know, if you could work on a public holiday, it would be like 60 or $70 an hour. And this is working doing shop merchandising in supermarkets, sort of working alongside the contractors who are demolishing all the shelving and all the bays and aisles and putting new ones in with new fixtures. We were kind of responsible to replace and change them back and forward. So Dave says, cool router, great find. Yeah, it's a great find. I mean, it's still cheap. I mean, I should not question that it's cheap, you know, $48, but it was $24.50 5 weeks ago. So it was more the normal kind of price then. And then just for them to double the prices, you know, they could have just put, like I said, a couple of hundred rubles on it, 200 or 300 or 500, because it's the same stock. It's the same merchandise. It's nothing different. You were coming from shopping, Gary. Oh, yeah, we kind of did too. We were, I was down there at the shops. Okay, it's about, well, we actually took a taxi home because we were lazy to walk. It's about 10, 15-minute walk that way, straight to the train station area where the shops are all around. And then we took a taxi back because it was only $1.50 for a taxi to get home. So we thought we'd get the taxi rather than walk. Oh, TT says $22 an hour. So yeah, I'm not sure what the minimum is. Is that the minimum wage? I think that might be about right, the minimum wage in Australia. Yeah, hi, Russell. Glad to see you getting so many more subscribers lately. I'm going to have to change my name to Russell OG. Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, actually, on the cruise channel, I put a post. Actually, I think I did it on Facebook. Did I? No, I did it on Facebook. Sorry. Where I posted a thank you to, especially when I was just under 1,000 subscribers. So now we're nearly at the 2,000 subscriber mark. And it was just like every day, like tick, 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 tick to get to this 1,000. It was like, oh, crazy. Like just waiting for that next subscriber. And I was literally watching the live ticker where I was waiting to go over 1,000. And I thanked the first couple of people. It was my sister's son or my nephew, Dale. And then it was actually a friend who worked on cruise ships years ago. His name's Bart Lacroix. He's from Belgium. He was my very first #1 subscriber. So I thanked him. So maybe, Brandon, you were like 2 or 3 or 4. I've only just learned what the OG means, like the original. I don't know what the acronym is again, but I just learned what the OG is. It's like the first person or the original person, you know, like I guess, is there an OG? Like they talk about it on, now I watch some other YouTubers and so on. They talk about that, like especially the big YouTubers, like, oh, he's the original or the OG of content creating in a certain niche. So, yeah, minimum wage, TT says, yeah, $22 an hour. Yeah, I know for Coles and Woolies, it was $27 something per hour, 27 something. That I was getting at Coles and Woolworths, because I was working for 2 companies, one at Coles and one at Woolworths in Australia. So, and then I know for Coles it didn't change because I was working pretty much supermarket opening hours. So they told me I can work essentially any hours as long as the supermarket's open, which would be 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. depending on the suburb you're in. But I typically work 7 a.m. I'd get to the store for 7, so I could come in when the store wasn't open, and I can get a couple of hours work done without people in the store, because changing the shelves and aisles is not as easy when there's people in the store. I'm sure see that when you're shopping. So thank you, Gary. Gary's one of the moderators in the channel, everybody. So he will just double check whatever people are typing. Just be kind of nice, I guess, and we'll keep it sort of friendly and nice. Dimmer wants to know which router I bought. I got TP Link Archer C54. Now, I didn't look this up before I went and bought it today. I did briefly remember to look a couple of weeks ago, well, weeks and weeks ago when I first looked for it. And this is the one that the internet people that I've got the internet from. In Australia, there's not an office you go to pay for your internet. There's not a place where you go and sign up for it and they connect it for you. Everything's online or everything's over the phone from a phone place somewhere in the world. So, yeah. So, I guess probably from the previous super chats. Okay, I've still got a little bit preparation for taking my wife out, so that'll be, maybe we'll do a video about me just taking my wife out as a super chat at lunch or dinner. But I did set myself a bit of a plan when the channel started that I was going to, whenever if super chats, super stickers, whatever you're calling these things come through, it was going to go towards getting a camera. So I've got a better quality live streaming camera. And actually the guy today at the store, I went to another store. That's the one I got. TP Link Archer C54. Not sponsored. Yeah, the guy today showed me, oh, this is going to be impossible to see. Impossible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, impossible. Yeah, sorry. He recommended me like a certain webcam to get that streamers use. So rather than using the computer's camera, I can put another one above the laptop here and do that kind of thing. So, oh yeah, thank you, Dimmer. Dimmer from Russia. Yeah, 4 thumbs up. So that's always good. I like it if we can get the same amount of thumbs ups as how many people are watching. So, yeah, nice one. Hello, everybody. How's the router working? Iron Man, it's working good so far. I've literally had it on for 45 minutes. And I believe if anyone can tell me, I guess I need to wave my hands. And if you see that it's blurry or, it's frozen or it's not constant, then I know it's not good. I've got, what do you call this? There's like a little thing here that tells you how strong the signal is. So it's got 2 out of 4 bars, I guess. So that sounds good, I think. So I think it's okay. Brandon says that he thinks he's the 4th subscriber. What did you say? I believe I was number 6. Oh, that's pretty cool if you were. Yes, massive thank you. That was kind of back when I did traveling videos, which this channel's about, right? And I didn't expect really. The whole idea with this channel was to build a community or viewers or subscribers who want to watch the content because it's me making them, and it's how I film them, or especially where I talk a lot about what I'm seeing and doing as I'm walking somewhere. And that's the whole idea of this channel, is to build that kind of community of people who like it. For me, not necessarily that I make something that's controversial and hundreds of comments. Yeah, no. So, yeah, Ironwood Workman. Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful to say, but a nice router, good choice. Yeah, I think it's good. So, Brandon says, would love to see some Russian food reviews, prices in restaurants. Yeah, I guess doing the tour around the food court, I kind of briefly showed, I briefly showed some prices on some of the signs and stuff. The biggest thing is like when we go out for dinner or lunch or somewhere, we don't really go to like Russian restaurants, so to speak. We go for sushi, we go for pizza, we kind of go for everyday kind of food that we like, not necessarily like this authentic Russian food, if that makes weird kind of sense. So Nima says, which one cam you're using for your regular videos? Oh, I use my phone. Yeah, I use my phone to film the videos. So, oh, there you go. Archer C54 in Perth is $59. So yeah, I guess it's not much difference then. I guess it's a tiny bit higher price in Australia than here, if that makes sense. Or tiny bit, a little bit higher. Yeah. So yeah, I use my phone for all the videos that I film, literally. So, and then the phone I have, it's very hard to see probably. Actually, if I show you this right here, this is one of the lenses that I use, and you can screw on the lens on the back right here. And then my phone then turns into a wider angle camera. So this is actually, it's called Moment. It's a brand called Moment. And it was, the reason I kind of got this is while I was doing videos on the cruise ships, I like to do the cabin reviews. So I got this wide lens so that I could film in a confined space, like in a cabin or in a room or in a lounge. And it kind of worked out good. Pamela, how are we going? Got Gary here, TT's. Where else? Ironwood, Dimmer, Brandon. That's, I guess, everyone who's chatting. And there's probably a few people who are not chatting and just watching and listening. So, Pamela, how are we going? Yeah, I guess somebody's doing some nice comments and everyone sort of wants to get rid of, there's no real need for negativeness. And that's probably my thing when I'm doing these. I'm too positive all the time. You know what I mean? I should really be upset, really, that I paid double the price for this router today. 2,450 rubles now, 4,800 rubles. And the lady's like, well, that's the price. Like when she chatted to my wife for quite a while because going back a few months ago when we had big snow over Christmas, I went and helped the local administration clean the streets. The guys that come and shovel the snow off the streets and the footpaths. And I went down there and helped some guys. And then a photo came up on Instagram that was for our region. And I was tagged in this photo on Instagram. And then the local administration asked me to come to their office for a meeting with the local, I guess, mayor of the town. And then a TV crew came and filmed a piece for the local television, and wanted to thank me for my services to the community for helping clean snow for the guys in the streets here. So, and then the lady today at the internet place recognized me and was telling my wife the whole story, how she was watching this news piece on the television through this TV station. And she's like, I know that guy, and she was telling my wife the story about it. So, yeah, trying to watch two streams, yours and the one man from USA talking about immigration to the US. Oh, okay. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, I guess the biggest thing at the moment, I guess, Dimmer from Russia, right? The US embassy is not operating in Russia right now. And so you basically, if you want to get if a Russian wants to get a US visa, like a travel visa or a holiday visa or whatever, work visa, you would have to go to Poland. That would be the nearest country with an operating US embassy right now. So that's a little bit kind of strange situation. The Australian embassy in Moscow is still here, but they're not allowing walk-in customers, if you want, or clients, or whatever you would call it. I had to go there to get some paper signed for my bank back in Australia, and it took all of 3 months to get an appointment to go there. Literally, I just needed to go in and get something stamped, and it seemed so simple, right? And there's that many people working there. The lady was super nice when I went there, but just the effort it takes just to try to go to get one thing signed and stamped. Yeah, agreed. That's funny. Thank you for your services. Yeah, you're welcome. How's the McDonald's situation? Still open? I don't know today. Russell, the local legend. Yeah, Wizard. Oh, Wizard. So how are we going, Wizard? Yeah, the thing was, I went there yesterday, and it was at a train station kind of across the other side of Moscow from where I live completely. So it was probably a good hour and a half to get there. And I kind of mentioned it on that other live stream about it, right? Someone in the chat actually said, told me about it, and then sent me an email with a link to someone's video where they kind of caught it in the video. And when I turned up there it was open, and the crowds and everything literally was within 10, 15 minutes of me turning up there. I literally did a very quick walk in and out just to make sure it was exactly all in place. I don't want to film things and then it's, good at that element of surprise where I film things and, it's kind of like, didn't work or something was closed or I got all the way there and things. I like to just make sure it's all up and going when I got there. So yeah, I assume it's still open today. Yesterday when I I actually walked from Leningradsky, Komsomolskaya metro station. It's a train station and a metro station. And I walked from there all the way back to Red Square, which was 4 kilometers. So it was about a 45-minute walk. And I walked past probably 3 McDonald's, literally. And one of them was completely closed down and everything was pulled out of it. There was, literally like there was nobody in there doing any work, but it looked like they were completely renovating the place. So whether they were doing that while they were closed or they'd given up the lease and tore everything out, I'm not sure. There's the one red McDonald's right by the Kremlin, in a shopping center across the road by the Kremlin. And that one basically is just basically shrink wrapped up and just to keep it kind of neat and tidy and stuff like that. So the one at my shopping center that I've done in a couple of the videos there in Solaris, I didn't go past it yesterday. I went in Solaris to go to the supermarket to buy some chicken for dinner, of all things. And I didn't even go past. So Russell, the local legend. Yeah, here. It is here today. Everyone talking about political asylum law for immigrants. Yeah, I guess one thing I did notice. Some move that. What about your job situation for today? If you can tell. Yeah, so I work on cruise ships, or I have worked on cruise ships for the past 20 years. I work in the onboard duty-free shops onboard cruise ships. So they've got shops on board the cruise ships when the ships travel internationally, and they've got duty-free shops very similar to what's at the airports. So I know here in Moscow they've got Dufry, which is a Swiss brand of companies. They were actually on the cruise ships as well. I worked for that company briefly for a while, and I work in the onboard shops, particularly selling the liquor and tobacco in the onboard shop. So Dima, just to compare, I could work at Krasny Bele here. That would be my ideal job in Russia, to work at Krasny Bele. So for everyone else, that's like a wine beer shop that's in most apartment buildings around Moscow and Moscow region, and probably in St. Petersburg, I hope. And it's kind of like more like a 7-Eleven beer and wine and a bit of everything kind of shop. So, that would be kind of a job I could easily do. The cruise ship thing is kind of on hold at the moment. I'm basically in the process of getting a Russian residency visa, which we were told would take 4 months. So we've actually passed that point now of the 4-month time frame of it being approved. So once I have that, I'd be able to fly in and out of Russia and fly back here basically on a visa, because we were married in Russia. I was married here in Moscow, my wife and I. It would be definitely nice to see your wife again. She's relaxing and she's watching Starsky and Hutch, the movie. Do you know Starsky and Hutch? She had some dinner just before I did this live stream, and she's relaxing now in the other room. She had a couple of clients today, so she had some clients at her salon, and then actually we met at the town and then we came back together in the taxi from the shops. So there's a Russian name here I can't pronounce. Hello, have a nice evening. Thank you. I don't really read Russian, so I'm not sure. And also Viking as well. There's maybe a different name I haven't seen. They have nice cheap eggs in Krasny Bele. Yeah, Krasny Bele. So for anyone that's not sure, so Krasny Bele, which means red and white in Russian translation, it's like a beer and wine shop. But gradually, they have a bit of everything else. So they've got eggs. They've got a little fridge with some dairy, some milk, some cheese. They've got beer snacks, so chips and dry fish. They've got a little chocolate section. They've got a cat food section. And actually, that's right downstairs from our apartment. And it's next door to my wife's salon, funny enough, as well. So, and that's where I can buy the cheapest Coca-Cola in Russia, too. Now, with the prices have gone up crazy on Coca-Cola, that's where I can go and buy my Coca-Cola. So, yeah, cheap eggs. The largest movement of humans on Earth is from point A to point B. USA, most of it happened in the last 40 to 50 years. The US was 180 million, is now at 425 plus million, if you count everyone. Yeah, I guess it's like for America, it's the land of the free, home of the brave, the land of opportunity. It's always kind of counted as that, right? So everyone's kind of, particularly, I guess, from Central South America, there's that kind of great goal of getting to America. And, being even people from Africa, different regions, Middle East, they want to get to America. And, and that's kind of the end goal for some people and a lot of people. And supposedly that's the best place in the world to live. I mean, I guess where we all live, we all love it or hate it where we live for whatever reason it is. Not sure about the flying thing. Soon the US will have the third largest population in the world. Yeah, I guess behind China and India. Yeah, that wouldn't be far off, right? I mean, I guess they're at 1 billion apiece. And then China, I think China and India will be 1 and 2. And then I guess USA will be close to being third. Yeah, Russians, let some eggs hatch, just get some more eggs. Gunnar says Russians should maybe let some eggs hatch. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I read a lot the Yandex News here, which is the web browser that's very popular in Russia. And they've got a Yandex News section. And they talk a bit about Krasnobyle, this store that, it's kind of like the secret place to buy cheaper eggs than the normal supermarkets. Place to buy sometimes cheaper milk than the normal supermarkets. And there are a few rubles less for things. And again, it may not be much difference, but to people who shop regularly for certain things, it is quite a difference, Our friend is live in 23. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think we will just go till 10 o'clock. So for 20 more minutes, we'll make it pretty much right on about an hour stream. So yeah, if anybody may be wanting to watch Inside Russia and Constantine's live stream right after this, we'll do that. I really want to thank everyone who's come into the live stream unannounced and unscheduled. I really wanted to make sure that this router testing. No, sorry, I just wanted to try something just for a second. Sorry, was working good or better. So, Gunnar is waiting also for Constantine. Yeah, I got a message from him the day before yesterday. I just asked him if everything is okay, and he sort of just replied that he's all good. So yeah, I'm glad that this is working, and I'm much happier. Actually, I was thinking of trying to maybe do like a live stream outside somewhere, but I'm not so good with the screen. It's a little bit hard to see the comments on the screen when you're walking, especially when you're kind of just looking where you're walking and talking. Gunnar says he turned you on to my channel. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Constantine lives literally, I would honestly say he lives up the road from me. We are, how far apart? I mean, if I literally had a car on a highway, it would be 15 minutes away from each other, which is very close for Russia in terms of driving a car. Yeah, he lives a little bit closer to Moscow than what I do, but we live literally off the same highway, so to speak. So, and when I found him as well, I kind of contacted him and asked him if he wanted to meet up. He was more than willing for us to meet up and chat and talk YouTube, basically. Right. So yeah, he's the one that kind of put on to this channel. So yeah, I think a lot of the growth of this channel was because of him mentioning me and what I do and things like that. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, it's appreciated. Did anybody else watch the McDonald's video that I put out yesterday? If maybe you haven't, you got a chance to watch it later, I guess. Yeah, You know what was really neat when I was there? I mean, you could see me just literally walk up to people and talk to them. None of that was planned, literally. I didn't ask anybody before I started filming. I literally kind of just put the camera right there on the spot. And even when I did that tiny bit where I got the camera low down on the table when I'm eating, so the guy across from me started chatting to me because I filmed a little bit that I didn't put in the video. And then he asked if I'm doing YouTube or I'm blogger. And I'm like, yeah, I talked about what I'm doing. And then the guy, when he left, because I think he was waiting for his food, so he left. And then another guy sitting next to me, we started chatting. So the amount of people that spoke, I wouldn't say perfect English, but very close to perfect English. A lot of students and younger people. And being that it's a train station, a lot of people passing between Moscow and St. Petersburg on the different train systems there. And actually, a lot of the one couple of people I talked to said they're going on like the slow train to St. Petersburg because it's much, much cheaper, and they don't have any need to get there. Like they have the high speed one, which I think is about 3.5 or 4 hours. Sapsan, it's called. And there's another one that takes, I think, 7 or 8 hours. You kind of leave in the afternoon and get there the next early morning. And it stops a few times on the way, quite a few times. Whereas the high speed one doesn't stop, So, Gary said I mentioned you on his vlog 2 or 3 times. A chat. Oh, thank you, Gary. Very, very nice of you to mention me, and then him mention me. And I think in at least a video or 2, he put my channel in his comment section. Oh no, his comments in his description. So yeah, it's very nice. All good. Yeah. And the end of the month, and April Fool's Day today as well. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. Maybe on social media. I was looking last night at some of the pictures. There's a lot of the brands and companies seem to do like April Fool's Day products for the April Fool's Day, right? And I asked my wife, if she knew what it was, but she said she hadn't heard. She knows what it is, but she hadn't seen anything for it here. So, a lot of brands make up like fake brands or products or food types or weird concoctions of products. Different. Actually, funny enough, McDonald's in Australia had like a sweet and sour ice cream. Like the sweet and sour sauce that you dunk your nuggets in. They were suggesting that you get the ice cream at McDonald's and then put sweet and sour sauce on your ice cream. And that was one of the April Fool's Day gags that they kind of put together. So, slow train sounds cool. I like trains. Yeah, one reason I like Russia. Yeah, I think that's something that I would like to do as well. I've actually talked about this, that I would love to do the, I guess it's St. Petersburg, I guess, not so much Moscow, all the way over to the other side of Russia on the Trans-Siberian. So, Dimmer, if you want to do the Trans-Siberian Railway together, we could figure out a way to do it, and we could make videos on that whole trip. I think it's about 7 or 8 or 9 days. I noticed that the way you can do it is you can do basically a day or a day and a half's worth of train ride till a certain stop. Then you can get off there, stay the night at a hotel or lodgings or hostel, and then get the train the following day, and then break that up, not just do a consecutive journey. That would be something. Yeah, I kind of like trains myself. I mean, the one from my town here, we can get into Moscow center, the suburban train, and it's always nice because the seats are all like facing each other, like opposite each other rather than in a row. So you end up, sometimes chatting to the person across from you, or just at least acknowledging and saying hello and things like that. So, just saw a video of someone testing borscht. That by a lot in Russia now. Do you like it? Borscht, I guess the soup. Borscht, yeah, I love borscht soup. Yeah, the beetroot soup. My wife makes it here quite often. She likes to make soups here a lot. Even meat, beef soups, chicken soups. Testing borscht, yeah. Definitely. Actually, I knew about it kind of before. Well, kind of when I was younger. My mum's family is Polish. My mum's mum and dad, or my grandparents, great grandparents are from Poland. My granddad was in the original, in the Polish army back then. He was a paratrooper in the Polish army. My granddad, and my grandma would make a lot of Polish food and soups and goulashes, and cabbage kind of stews were a big thing. I guess there's a little bit of similarity with Poland, Russia, Eastern Europe, the foods. Um, um, yeah, so I definitely love borscht soup. I mean, some people don't like it because it looks ugly, right? Because it's like a red, especially if you depends on how people do make it. It can become very like almost like blood red color, especially if you get it in a restaurant. They tend to somehow, I don't know what they're putting in the soup to get it more red. My wife's one looks more like a pinky red color. And then you actually put a dollop of sour cream in there as well, smitan, and you stir the sour cream into your borscht. So, um, yeah, thank you, Gary. Yeah, I see he gets a lot of super chats, and here I see few. Yeah, it's when we were at the supermarket today. So with my wife, we met and we went and bought. What did I buy? Oh, I bought some oranges. Are they even on the kitchen top? No, they're not. They're still in the bag. I bought some oranges at the little grocery store, and they actually had a sign there for staff needed, and the wage started at 27,000 rubles till 54,000 rubles. So if you're looking at dollars, between $270 and $540 a month as I guess, an unskilled supermarket worker, if that makes sense. Um, and I mean, you can still live on that. I mean, you probably couldn't rent your own place alone. You'd probably live with somebody or share two or three people in an apartment. Maybe get a 2-room or 3-room apartment and have a room each, to be able to afford to do that. So, that was my talk. Yeah, glad to see your smile. Apart from your wife, which is the best thing you like about living. Apart from your wife, what's the best thing about living in Moscow? Um, um, I don't know. I mean, I'm I'm kind of ease. I'm able to kind of fit in anywhere. I know that sounds weird, but working on cruise ships and traveling as much as I've done on cruise ships, and visiting different places on a weekly, daily basis, there's not much that I need to be happy. So I don't have big expectations. I don't need fancier things, bigger this, the size of our apartment I'm happy with, you know what I mean? And it's a 1-room apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, but okay, maybe 2 bedrooms would be better. We can have a separate room if we fall out and we want to sleep in a different room from each other, for instance. Um, I like things like yesterday where I can just get on the train myself and the bus myself and go off in Moscow and do my own thing without having to have my wife with me. I like going to somewhere new. Like I hadn't been to that train station yesterday. I don't go and do too much every day, especially probably this 7 months I've been here. Um, I like how, people don't let things bother them here. I mean, it's not a big deal if something's wrong. You know what I mean? They don't, you know, everywhere else it's like, whatever the news is that day, that's what's going on. You know what I mean? Like when I worked at the supermarket, so I'd go to work every day and I knew the same staff there. And, our sort of conversations were mostly about what was yesterday's news or what was yesterday's sporting news, for instance, and, about the team coming up for next weekend's match. Or whereas here, I mean, people don't talk about that kind of stuff. People don't discuss, I mean, the people that I know, especially, they just go about their day. They do what they need to do to live and to survive, and they're happy. There's kind of, they don't need more. I mean, I'm sure there's probably, wealthier Russians who have more and want more and strive to have more. but I'm happy how we are. You know what I mean? Of course, if I could earn more money, we could. I would love to be able to buy a place here rather than living in a rented place. I'd love to have kind of that sort of behind me, so that we could, not. I mean, my wife talks about not having a mortgage, and I keep stressing to her that everybody in the world predominantly has a mortgage. Especially people who want to buy a house and have got a plan to buy a house and are buying a house, versus being in a rent cycle. Brandon, thank you very, very, very much. $40, $50. Yeah, that covers the router. It does. I'm going to show you it again. I will actually take a better photo for the thumbnail. I literally just did like a crazy screenshot. So this is I should change the internet login to Brandon's router. The lady today, when I was there, she unpacked it and plugged it in, and she basically put the settings on it for me. And then my wife was saying to me, she goes, "Oh, she can't do all the settings because your old router's still plugged in at home. So, and she can't log into the system because she can't log two of these in. So, yeah, the Brandon router. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then we're still kind of working on taking my wife out for lunch. But it's going to be after the 21st of next month, by the way, because that's when the payment comes through. So, wow. That's more than generous. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there. I need to still I can't really read the instructions, but I really just want to just check that I've got maybe the right settings on my login here. I did actually buy the, I'm just going to go off camera for a second. And as a backup, that's a bit Russian for you. I did actually buy the cable, the Cat 5 cable. You guys probably know network cable. I did actually buy that as well. And he hasn't changed price. That was 440 rubles. So $4.40 for 10 meters of network cable. So the idea is I can hard plug this hardwire, I guess you call it. I can hard plug this into my laptop and run the cable around to the modem in the hallway. In Australia, we call them modems, not routers. But I guess we're not doing dial-up anymore. So, yeah. Hello, Mr. Australia. Tough. How are we going? Tough. The unknown facts. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm doing. Actually, this is a great day. It's a great day. I shouldn't be so happy, should I? Hardwire. Yes, that's what it's called. Hardwiring. So I'm going to try and hardwire it in from the laptop to the modem, to the router. Getting so technical. And see if it's even faster. At home in Australia, we did actually have our TV plugged into the modem. Because I was using my TV a lot like Gary does for watching internet watching YouTube and things like that. So, whereas here I'll just put internet on the TV. So on the laptop on the second screen here. Well, God, I'm getting my words mixed up. Thanks for your response to my question. A simple life and with your simple pleasures. Good answer, Graham. Yes, honestly, I know. If I asked my wife the same question, I got her to answer it. She'll sort of say, but I want a new perfume. I want a new dress, some new shoes. Want new lipstick or nail polish. And even tonight we argued. So we bought chicken for dinner last night, right? Like roast chicken. And we had some leftovers, and we were going to just have like some chicken salad tonight. Put the leftover chicken with some salad, make a chicken salad. And she was putting the chicken in the frying pan. It's already cooked chicken just to warm it up. And it was like practically frying in the frying pan. And she's like, but if you bought me a microwave, I could just warm it up in the microwave. And I'm like, Russians don't use microwaves. We don't use microwaves. We use the oven. We use frying pans. We use normal ways to cook things. And then now she wants to have a microwave. We had one in Australia. My mum brought one around to our place where I moved into, and she kind of discovered using a microwave, I guess for the first time ever. And then she asked tonight about getting one. But yeah, my wife is always wanting something, but you know what I mean? I just said we just have to budget for things, right? I mean, we just have to budget our money, and then how much she's got her own little home business, or business that she works, her salon downstairs. So she's just got to budget through that as well, right? How much she pays herself and pays to run the business. Hello from hello Kazakhstan. Hello from Kazakhstan. Yes. That's kind of nice. Got people from everywhere here. Yeah, I hope that's a good answer. Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I said that when we came to Australia a year and a half ago, and I first came home, it'd be 2 years ago after COVID, right? And I said, there's only two things that I want. I said, I want my little desk set up, which I've got here, and with internet, unlimited internet, because on the ships you have so limited internet, and you have to go find Wi-Fi. You got to get out from the port to get Wi-Fi. And I wanted to have TV with the football on. So like a nice big TV with the football. They're the only two things I wanted. And I said to my wife, I said, you can have everything else in the house. You can have any color you like, furniture, whatever you want, as long as I've got my internet and my TV. So Chuff said, yummy talk is making me hungry. Yeah, I'm a little bit hungry. I've actually, so if you did watch the McDonald's video yesterday, I brought home the fries container from McDonald's yesterday. I know that's very weird. And I actually brought even the bag home as well. Actually, the guy went to give me a bag, and I said, I don't really want it, but I'll put it on eBay and sell it. Brian says, how much is a microwave over there? I reckon you could get a cheap Chinese kind of knockoff one, or I don't know if Russia makes microwaves. I reckon for about 50, no, more than that, probably $70 to $100 American. I guess I'm being, yeah, because I remember we went and looked, 7,000. So yeah, about $100 or so, give or take. I'd say if you can get fancy ones and crazy fancy ones. I mean, all I need to do is put something in 1 or 2 minutes on high, and that's microwaving done. So I'll have to go and have a look how much they are. So I'm pretty sure though I don't think more than $100 or so. I'm just guessing. I'm very bad at especially when it gets to big thousands of rubles. Doing that sort of exchange, translate. Exchange in your head. When I was working on cruise ships, we earn US dollars, and then coming home to Australia, obviously Australian dollars, and now in rubles, you've kind of got that currency exchange in your head. And what you've got to do here a lot is you've got to forget that exchange rate. You've got to realize that the price you're paying is the price you're paying, and that's the story. You know what I mean? And that's it. So it's not more or less, because you don't have anywhere else to buy it from, right? I mean, you can't drive to Kazakhstan to buy a microwave. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe Dima knows the price of them, or in Kazakhstan. Yeah, Brian. Right. Yeah. So roughly just on 100 rubles to $1 at the moment. Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Oh my God. I don't think I can even pull up video. Oh, actually, I'm going to pull up on the other screen. How much is a microwave? Now that you're asking, where's the website? MVideo, this one. Let's see if we can pull it up, if it works. My lack of trying things probably won't do that. So I can't put it on the screen here because I don't have my screen sharing set up. It translates to English, so that's good. Washing machines, vacuum cleaners, smartwatches, refrigerators, mixers and blenders. Everything I don't want to look at. Kitchen appliances, microwaves. There we go. All right, so 4,000. So yeah, so 5,000 rubles, 4,999. Microwave Solo Goronji. 5,999. Microwave oven with grill media brand. Is there any brands? I guess you can't choose by brands. Yeah, so okay, the super fancy ones are like 9 microwave Solo LG. Is 19,000 rubles, but there's a lot of them that are under 10,000 rubles, so under 8,000. Oh, LG one there for 13,000. Hyundai make microwaves. 6,499 rubles for a microwave. Yeah, Ironwood says, yeah, the ruble is going back up. Yes, it's kind of, I guess you could almost say the word normalizing. It's normalizing to what it was a month ago or 5 weeks ago. So yeah, this is still cheaper than Australian prices in Russia, I guess. Show by 72 of them. So what's the highest price one? Popular first, cheapest first, most expensive first. Okay, these are fancy microwaves. 50,000, 40,000 rubles. Yeah, there's a lot you need. The basic ones are under $100. Beautiful sunny day here in Savannah, Georgia. My family all went to the beach. Whoa. Let me not tell my wife that you did that because she'd want to get on a plane right now and fly there. So, stainless steel. There you go. There's so many choices of ways you can look at them. Bio ratings. Let's look from 4 stars. That's probably the highest ratings. Can you still get cheaper ones for 4 stars rating? I hope you can. Cheapest at first. Oh, 5,100 rubles with 4.9 rating. This is the ratings on their website, right? So it's not translating into Russian. Now it's stuck on Russian. Media. Galanz. Galanz brand. Deluxe. Not heard of any of these. Hyundai. I just didn't know there was a Hyundai microwave. And I had a Hyundai car in Australia. Actually, one of the memes that I saw on the internet today was about the local police in Australia are going to invest in Hyundai Getz police cars. And I found it very funny because that's what I had in Australia. So, $1 is 86 rubles. Oh, so it's gone under 100. Thanks, Gary. It's 78 and sunny here in coastal Florida, Brian. Yeah, I can come and live in Florida, and I can work for my company for the shops. Their offices are in Doral in Miami. The company that operate the shops that I was working on the cruise ships with. And that was my goal a lot of years ago, was to go and work in that office for the cruise ship company or for the duty-free company on the cruise ships. And then I could go to that Walmart in Doral there. I can, go to the golf on the weekends, watch the golf. I want to go to see the golf there. Right, Gunnar's off because Constantine is coming on. So yeah, if anyone wants to jump over to his live stream, there is 12 people here and 15 thumbs up. And that's very, very, very good. So yeah, thanks. So I guess the next thing is to get my wife a microwave now. But if I said to her, "Hey, would you like a microwave or a bottle of perfume?" What do you reckon she'd say? I think she'd say maybe she'd say she wants a bottle of perfume more than a microwave. Oh, there's Higher. Oh, Sharp microwave. I know Sharp. $7,499. 7,000 higher, Haier. Got a lot of higher brand ones. Is there a Samsung? Oh, there's all the brands. All right, let me take away the star ratings. Any. And see if I can pick. What brands of microwave do you think are well-known brands? How are these brands here? Binatone, Bork, Bosch, B&Q, Candy, Casso, Comfy, Daewoo, Electrolux, Galans, Galaxy, Gasterog, Heine, Heberg, Hoover, Hyundai, LG. I'm going to just do LG. My dad calls LG in Australia lousy goods, by the way. Well, their cheapest one's 12,000 rubles. It's about $150 for the cheapest microwave. So, perfume 100%. Tough says, yeah, I think my wife would forego the microwave for a bottle of perfume every day of the week if she really had a choice, you know. I mean, we can live without a microwave, but I guess like for this chicken tonight, imagine we argued about heating up chicken. I was watching the video with your wife and this one just popped up. I didn't know if I will ever learn everything about YouTube. Yeah, Vet's wife, I didn't plan this one. I've just bought a new router today. It's called the Brandon router. If Brandon's still watching, Brandon just did a super chat and said that would cover the price of this replacement router because of my previous one, live stream wife when it died and everything went crazy. And I was upset for the rest of the night. I went to bed with a crazy headache. I'm still getting over it. So now by buying this today, it made me feel better. Even if the price went up to, well, $48 from $24.50. It doubled in price in 5 weeks, this router did. So, yeah. You guys want to keep chatting or is everyone going to head off and I keep saying I'm going to head off and I don't? I think I'm kind of bad at that, aren't I? Yeah, I wish I could do the screen sharing and then I could pull over to show you like I'm looking at a website called M Video, which is like an electrical goods store in Moscow where you can kind of get anything for your house. Electrical goods, you know, kitchen, TVs, fridges, washing machines, computers, phones, coffee machines, whatever you want. Actually, we bought our stick mixer there as well. You know, the ones that you put in to like mix your soup or make smoothie mixers, stick mixer. We bought that there as well. So, yeah. So I think I may close down the live stream. What do you think? Nobody's chatting to me back. I rely so much on the chat down here. It's in this corner over here. Yeah, so my husband and I are enjoying the various videos you are showing about Russia. Thanks, Vet's wife. Yeah, this channel was always kind of just set up to make videos that were not about the cruise ships, which is what I've been doing for most of my life. And the idea behind the videos was to also put it on a channel separated, separated from the cruise channel because it's not the same audience and viewers. So Graham says I should get to bed. It's 10 p.m. here. It's not too late yet. Typically, I don't go to bed until about 2 or 3 a.m. I know that sounds late, but I do tend to wake up later as well. I'm a bit lazy that I get up now at somewhere between 9 and 11 a.m. in the morning. So Bet's wife, yeah, thank you for enjoying the new videos and the type of videos. And basically, it's getting a lot more watch time and views, and especially on the live streams as well, because we have a little bit more in common on this channel rather than it being dedicated to cruise ships. My husband and I, night. Hello from Ontario, Canada. Christine, how are we going? In Ontario, yeah, I've been to St. John's, Newfoundland, and then I've been, where else did I go to in Canada on that side? Quebec City on the cruise ships as well. And then Halifax and St. John is, what's Halifax? I just remember going in Halifax. We went a lot to the local supermarket where the ships dock. There's a train station there where the ships dock in Halifax. And I think that's the furthest east train station, where basically that's the end of the line, so to speak, on the eastern part of Canada for the train lines. How do the Russian people treat you overall being foreign? I've heard mixed reviews, Brandon. They treat me good, and I would say great. I guess better than good, great. Especially people, once they maybe know that I'm from Australia, that I've lived here so many years, that I'm married here, and that I'm not exuberant. You know what I mean? I'm not that outspoken, outlandish kind of tourist. I live the normal life that the next person does. Okay, I make YouTube videos. I'm not going to work 9 to 5 or whatever the hours you're doing. If I could get a job, I would. No question. If I can get my visa and I can get a job based on my residency visa, especially a job that I don't need to know as much Russian, I would. And I'd be happy to kind of continue living that normal everyday life. I never wanted to do anything crazier than what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? I'm kind of happy with my view out the window from the 10th level here. It overlooks the town. I can see the church. I can see the shopping center off in the very distance. If you open the window, you can hear the trains sometimes going by when it's a bit, more stiller outside. And that's, and I'm happy, if that makes sense. I hope I come across like that, I should probably be more upset about things, and I can't use my card to pay for things. Like today, I couldn't pay for the router with my card because my Australian cards don't work in Russia, because all foreign cards don't work in Russia anymore, right? So they blocked the SWIFT payment system here. They blocked Visa and MasterCard here. So we're kind of working around it because we have to, right? We got to do that. Christine and Brandon are just across the border from Genoki. I like Noki. I'm not sure about Genoki though. Go to bed around 2:30 a.m. every night, about Twilight, after Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock. What? No. I tend to, like, if I'm using the computer, I tend to check like the weather for tomorrow before I go to sleep. Check my last emails to make sure there's nothing I need to answer or do anything about. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Yeah, I loved going there. And actually, probably back in Australia somewhere, I've even got a Halifax library card. We were going there every week on the itinerary from New York, and we had library cards to get Wi-Fi at the Halifax library because we were regulars going there, that they made us members. Hi from Moscow. Hope YouTube doesn't ban you. Yeah, Ilmoni. Oh, someone else in Moscow. Wow. That's kind of cool. I wonder whereabouts in Moscow you are. I'm sure if you type it, I don't know it anyway. Brandon B, I came to Rabbit Island. Oh, I also like your cruising channel. I will be taking my first cruise to Alaska. Wow. Alaska is amazing. Is really, I've done it quite a few years ago now. I've not done it for a lot of years. I did it when I worked on Norwegian Cruise Line also. I was on Norwegian Pearl in Alaska and Norwegian Sun. And then way back when I was on the Carnival Jubilee in Alaska as well. A lot of years ago, my God. But probably the last seasons I did in Alaska was on a Norwegian Cruise Line before I went back over to Carnival. So yeah, Alaska's pretty cool. Yeah, for crew members, it's very cool as well because it's still America. That's one thing you've got to remember a little bit when you go to Alaska on a cruise. It's still America. So when you get off, you maybe go on a bus trip across, one of the cities or towns, and you drive past a Walmart or you drive past a Kmart or you drive past a petrol station or I don't know, Wendy's burger place, and people go, oh my God, looking out the window. And they're shocked, but it's still America. And same when you go to Hawaii, right? It's the same like that. Yeah, the one thing when you're here in Moscow, I mean, they do have all these Western brands that we've talked about, quite extensively. But, the other thing too is there's a lot of like now we're just talking about the microwave prices. How much is a microwave, And there's a ton of brands. If I go through these brand names that I've never, I mean, whoever knew there was a brand called Candy microwaves, and Wilmark, Winina, Widyaz, Separa, Starwind, Scarlet, Redmond I've heard of here, Polaris I've heard of here. So I guess these are kind of maybe Russian regional brands. So I'm in the northwest in Krasnogorsk. Yeah, I guess I'm in the southwest, kind of close by Vnukovo Airport. Is kind of the easiest way to describe where I live. Yeah, so I guess we're kind of opposite ends of the town. I guess that was up where I was yesterday at the Komsomolskaya train station, because that was considered, I guess, from Moscow center, it was northeast a little. So, oh, thank you, Gary. Don't like his theme tonight. Watching Constantine's theme. I think he was talking a little bit about his faith. I think that was from the title that I saw. Yeah, I guess that kind of something you've kind of got to be into. I'm sorry. I have to get back to work. You have a very pleasant want to present. You have a very pleasant want to present information, and we are thankful for everything you share. Thank you. Really, thank you. I'm going to look at the camera to say thank you. Sorry. I'm looking at myself, not up at the camera. So please excuse me if I'm not ever looking at myself. So I'm looking at the chat over here, and I should be looking at the camera up here. Some people actually even put like a like something right there to force your eye to look at it. Yeah, so you got to get back to work. Yeah, I guess what I can do for a future live stream is I can do my other application where I can screen share. So I could drag across, because it'd be kind of interesting to look at the price of apartments here, wouldn't it? I am going to film an apartment tour of where we live. My wife doesn't want me to, of course not. I always say to her, there's only going to be a few hundred people watch the video, it won't be popular, I'm still waiting for that 1 million view video in my life. I don't think I'll ever get to it. One of those like viral 1 million view videos. That's my other dream. I have dreams as well, right? I guess I'll just have to settle for getting to 2,000 subscribers. What are we on now? Oh, 1847, I think is what we're on. Yeah, I guess we'll have to do something like as a 2,000 subscriber live stream. 1847 is the live count at the moment. So that's kind of good. It's not far off 2,000. Yeah, somebody mentioned that you should do a, what do you call this? A subathon. Like an appeal-a-thon or a telethon. You should do a subathon so that people subscribe while you're watching, to get the number up to 2,000. So, Ilmoni says you did a great job, great video about electric buses, by the way. That's how I found your channel. Wish you good luck and bye. Oh, thanks very much, Ilmoni. Yeah, that was the video I filmed at Kiev railway station, which is the one I would take from where I live to get into Moscow if I took the overland or the suburban trains. Yeah, that was kind of neat. I mean, I know I sort of walked around, but that was a little bit of a plan when I kind of got a lot of views from that video, is to do more bus videos, thinking that's what all my subscribers were following the channel for. So I was kind of worried that was the way it was going to work out. Hello from Chicago. Always wanted to take a cruise, but have been afraid of being seasick, being miserable the entire cruise. Yeah, Brian, that's the thing for some people. There's always that kind of fear of... that's the fear that, with cruising that, I mean, would something happen? Would I get seasick? Some people worry about, how safe the ship is. I mean, how many lifeboats does the ship have? What's the emergency procedures? And yeah, the seasick thing, I mean, that's just, I guess, luck or bad luck. I mean, they always say don't cruise around hurricane season. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like when the last contract I ended on was out of Galveston, Texas, and we were doing cruises down to Cozumel, Mexico, and you'd cross the Gulf of Mexico twice, once there, once back, right? And you could have maybe, I don't know, 25 out of 30 days of the month calm, flat, Gulf of Mexico beautiful. And you can have, 5 days out of the month where it's just, practically hurricane weather, when it's just the weather patterns that are moving across the Gulf. And you'll have them rough days where the ship is just rocking and rolling, and then everyone says, oh, on the other cruise line it was calm seas, on the other cruise line it was much better. And then, the captain can't do a whole lot more. The weather is the weather, and the direction the ship has to sail, he can't avoid it, as such. So yeah, I guess it's just a matter of taking precautions, taking seasickness pills, eating green apples, ginger ale, things like that, putting a little plan in your head together. Ironwood says, you'll get the views in time, Russell. Keep doing live streams. Yeah, this is something that's sort of worked out. Now that we've got Brandon's router working, I'm going to say it's Brandon's router every time now. Yeah, if someone wants to sponsor for the camera, I guess, then I'll get a camera as well. That was the plan, even from doing the cruise ship live streams, was to put that money towards getting a camera. I'm still a way off that much money to do that. So again, back to budgeting, right? You got to budget for everything here and there to do that. I wish the ones watching would chat more, or are they shy? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, there isn't that kind of fast chat, but it's okay. I think we've kind of done good. The one thing with this, just talking about this video I made at McDonald's yesterday, right? So on the statistics of the channel, it's currently sitting at number 6 out of the last 10 uploads. So it's 6 out of 10, right? You always want a 1 out of 10, right? It goes live and it's getting the most views versus the previous 10 videos. And it was sitting at about 4th or 5th. Now it's gone down to 6th, right? And I said to my wife last night, hesitantly, I said, I think this is going to be a 1 million view video because it's really cool and it's about, a kind of trending topic. And then when you look at it, it says there that it's about the same amount of views as normal, typical amount of views, typical amount of watch time. And, and you read the comments, there's a lot of people like just very upset about McDonald's, and you can't win when you make a video. Really it's, you think you're doing something that's a little bit of a trending topic. And then you get people just, upset about everything in the world, and they put it in a sentence in a comment of the video. And I'm not sure, I mean, even when I look at the thumbnail where it's me holding the bag up, like I actually arranged somebody to take my photo holding that, right? And, is the photo wrong? Should I have had a photo of a Big Mac instead of a photo of me holding a bag of food? Should I say that it's still open when the whole world thinks it should be closed? Ironwood says, how long did you sail around the world? Okay, so if I count or don't count the COVID shutdown, it was 20 years from when I started the first day, I guess, till the day I got off the ship 2 years back now. It was 2 years in March that I've been off the ship since COVID locked down all the ships around the world. And they realized that, the sailing them with passengers and everything going on wasn't going to work. We were very lucky that the last cruises that we were on before we shut down, there was no infections on board. There was no spreading of the infections on board. So the ship I got off, we didn't have to wear masks because we had no infections on board. And once the passengers got off, we spent, I think it's about 3 weeks without passengers when we didn't know what the situation was, how long we were going to wait it out. And eventually everybody got sent home, literally everybody. And, I mean, we kind of said to them, why do we need to wear a mask if there's nobody on board and nobody has an illness and nobody can get on, no one can get off? We were stuck on the ship. So, 20 years. Yeah, you do contracts that are between 6 and 9 months, and you come home for about a month, generally between about 3 and 5 weeks. Then you fly back again and do another 6 months. Some people have 2 months or 3 months off. Depends on yourself if you want to have a longer vacation or not. Do you like the change living on land again? Yeah, look, I think when I came home and then I came back to Australia, I had 2 weeks in quarantine when I arrived. And then I had another 2 weeks at the same house. I rented an empty house for quarantine. Back then, we didn't have the hotel quarantine in place. And the plan was I could actually have stayed there as long as I liked in that house, but I was alone. My wife wasn't over from Russia yet. And it was like a 3-bedroom house with a big back garden, like huge back garden. And then you had to open this gate every time to pull your car in and close the gate behind you. And I just felt very conscious about, are the doors locked? Are the windows closed? Are the curtains drawn? Is someone looking in the window and everything like that, when I was on my own, right? And then I rented an apartment, actually not only a few streets from where I was living. And my wife came over. It was weird at first. I mean, I must admit, I did plan like I could have about 2 months of not working, or maybe 3 months, because that first 4 weeks I didn't do anything. 3 months of not having to work, and needed to have money to live. And then I eventually got a job and so forth. So it was very difficult, I'm going to say, at first, because, on the ship, you've got everything provided. So you've got all your meals, you go to the mess, you put your plate away, someone does the dishes. The food's always there when you go for breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight buffet. We had a cabin steward who made our bed, changed our sheets, put our towels. I mean, all we were responsible to do is get dressed and go to work each day. So at the start of your shift, at the end of your shift, that was your work, and perform your job while you're at work. On land, when you come home, then you've got to do washing, you've got to make dinner, you've got to go to the shops, you've got to put petrol in your car. You might have to do something like, when I came home, I had to do a lot of paperwork things, banking things and setting up like medical paperwork and everything, just to fit back into land life, So I'm used to it now. I mean, at 2 years in, I'm used to it now. Coming back to Moscow and living here in this same apartment where we'd lived on and off for 9 years is very comfortable. I'm probably more comfortable here than I probably became in Australia. I mean, that was one thing my wife argued a lot. This is your home. This is where you're from. You've got everything here. But I was 20 years on the cruise ships. I wasn't living at home for 20 years before my wife joined me there. And, I had to get used to driving to work, driving home. What am I going to have for dinner? What time am I going to start work tomorrow? Whereas in the cruise ships, you just get the elevator to your cabin, jump in your bed, get undressed, dressed, go to work the next morning. I'm probably more comfortable here than I was at home in Australia, because I know this town. I know everything about where I live. And everything's here that I need, Sorry, my glasses I'm looking down a little bit, so I should probably sit up differently on the chair, shouldn't I? Tough can't go live. Do you have 1,000 people join? I'm not sure. I guess maybe he's I'm not sure. Maybe he can't go live. I can't imagine going live with 52 subs and being just 40 days old on YouTube. I'm not sure who that is, but they will be on his other channel. I like cruise ships. Oh, okay. Your apartment flat is more like a cabin, I bet. Maybe this is the reason you like it more. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, just having that smaller space, you know what I mean? And everything is, in a couple of rooms. So you got the hallway, the other bedroom, then the kitchen here. When I do a tour of the apartment, you'll kind of understand, right? Um, yeah, that's very true. I think that, that smaller kind of environment is suiting me more. Whereas when I first literally arrived back after when quarantine was in, and I literally moved into that 3-bedroom house, and there was a little bit of furniture in there, I mean, that my mum had got me some food for the fridge, and the TV switched on and off, the internet worked, and that was it, right? And the sofa and the bedroom, but it was just too big. It was overwhelming, the amount of space I had. And I kind of rolled in there with like one luggage and one carry-on bag, and that was all I had. Everything in that bag was my life on cruise ships, and it was like way more than I needed for living. That's where in the apartment here, you don't need as much. So yeah, I agree with that completely. Ross from Utah, welcome. Yeah, I don't know how your temperature is. Outside it says it's 1.5 plus Celsius here. So I guess about 40 Fahrenheit for people. That's the balcony temperature. I've got a little sensor on the outside balcony here. What does it say? Oh, 2 degrees on the Microsoft weather. 2 Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty close. 1.5 on mine. 2 Celsius in real life. And tomorrow, maximum of 3 tomorrow. Oh, there you go. It's really going to heat up. Yeah, Ross, that's pretty cool. A couple of things not ideal to say there. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brandon, for your super chat. And if anybody may give super chats or does want to give them, I think we've got the lunch with my wife covered. I guess now it's maybe the microwave fund. Man, I feel like I'm poor. I'm more poor than I'm poor. And here's me, like, when I do go to the shops, I like kind of look for the specials and look for things cheaper than other things. I mean, I still have to budget how much my wife earns and how much we can spend when we're here. I mean, based on the cost of living here, right? So, was your education in Australia before joining a cruise ship? I went and only finished primary school and high school till year 10, which is kind of the secondary of high school. And then you get your tertiary, which is the last 2 years. So you do years 8 to 10 is secondary certificate, which is your minimum for you to be able to leave school. You get a certificate after year 10 with your grades. And then you can go grade year 11 and 12, which you then get your score for university, or I think they've changed the name now. It was TE when I was there, tertiary entrance exam. They've changed the name in Australia now for that. But yeah, and I actually enjoyed doing photography back then. That's probably how I got into YouTube now. I should have been doing YouTube when I was 16. My God, there'll be millions of subscribers. And I wanted to be a photographer and do sports photography. And in year 9, then going into year 10, you can do work experience where they place you in a job or a field that you want to do. And I thought, a photographer, that's what I put on the list. I want to do something with the newspaper, and they put me at the 1-hour Kodak Express doing photo developing and learning about photo developing, which I learned a lot. 2 weeks of doing that. And I got a job from there, and I left school after year 10 was finished. And after I worked at Kodak for, I don't know how many years, 5 years more, 5 years at least, 7 years. And I worked at the airport at the duty-free job. I got the job at the duty-free shops at the airports. And then I got the job on the cruise ships. Yeah, so only 3 years of high school. Here I am. So, sorry, Ross. Yeah, I saw your name. You said hello, Russell from Utah. So I'm saying hello back. And if anyone puts something in the chat, of course, I'm going to say hello back. It's the same here in India, 10 plus 2 plus college specialization. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, pretty similar. Yeah, my other friend from high school is now a chef. He finished through high school, and then he went to do. I think he did like a college to be a chef, and he operates 2 restaurants. I think he owns them, 2 restaurants. The one friend, my other friend is working in the local council offices, doing like marketing for the Chamber of Commerce for the area where he lives. Maybe 2 Rosses. Oh, sorry. Maybe there is 2 Rosses. Is there 2 Rosses? What? There we go. Hi, Russell. Really enjoying you and your channel. Canary. Oh, Canary, how are we going? Thank you. Yeah, I replied to a couple of your comments. I am trying to reply to everybody's comments. It's getting way too many. Way too many comments now to reply to. There was 50 and 100 comments on every video, which is great and amazing, and thumbs ups. And you know what gets me, right? The video I did of McDonald's, within about the first hour or so, there was already 1 thumbs down on the video. And I'm curious, like, you know what I mean? I guess you do have the opportunity to put thumbs up and thumbs down on things, right? I mean, everyone has the freedom to do what they like on social media. But, you know, if you don't like it, just click off it and watch something else. You know, does it affect the algorithm of the channel? I don't think so, but I'm a sports post. I was a sports poster photographer in another life, Dennis. Wow. Yeah, that was my goal. I was playing tennis in high school as well, but just casually at a tennis club. And I did the photography for the local tennis club. And actually, the photos are on the wall to this day, the shots that I did, because I was developing all the photos at the Kodak Express where I worked, doing all the enlargements. And I framed photos on the wall of some players at the club. And well, I've not been there recently in a few years, but I'm pretty sure they'd still be on the wall to this day. My friend actually played like pennant tennis with the local club, and he won a lot of pennant trophies over the years, my friend Nelson. So thanks, Canary. Yeah, Canary in a coal mine. I wonder if anyone references your name of your channel. Since the salons on ships are mainly people from Asia, would that limit your wife's ability to work on board? No. Well, no. She could be a nail technician on the cruise ships, 100%. The only thing that may bother her is her thought that her English isn't good enough. But I've met a lot of crew who have far less English than she has. And with her doing nails, I mean, she's doing what she loves to do on land. She could do it on the cruise ships. We did think about it quite a few years ago about applying. The only thing is with her, well, the salon company would be completely different to my company. It may be difficult to get on the same ship. And that's the other issue. With the salon company, they're on more than 100 ships around the world. And they have a habit of basically just placing you on any ship. And then as the business needs for that salon company, they'll just transfer the girls to and from other ships as they get better at their job or worse, or if they're very good at their job and they're selling and they're retailing and they'll get put on better ships with more clientele, with more business, and to make more money. And that's an issue with that for us, is that we would get jumped around ships too much and maybe not on the same ship together. I was a logger, then a truck driver. I miss the Olympic Mountains very much. The Horn Rainforest is heaven on earth for me. Sounds good. And that's maybe where you get your name from, Ironwood Workman. I've watched a couple of them shows quite a few years ago now, those logging shows, you know, where they do the logging and they've got those cables where they cut the trees down on the mountainsides and then they cable them up. It looks almost dangerous what they're doing, like that job where they recover where they do logging, and I guess that's sustainable forestry, right? I assume it is. Tennis, women's volleyball, women's beach volleyball. I'm jealous. Yeah, there is a lot of Asians working on the cruise ships, Brandon. Yeah, the spa girls, particularly the ones that do massage and facials. A lot of girls from Thailand, Indonesia. Funny enough, my wife worked at a salon in Moscow Center here for quite a few years. A very famous salon, men's and women's salon, kind of a luxury salon, if you like. and they've actually got girls working in there from Thailand and Indonesia here in Russia, and the company pay their visas and pay their flights back and forward, pay their accommodation, so that they've actually got Thai girls doing Thai massage in the salon my wife was working, because they kind of essentially wanted the best of the best to work in this salon and not have, a Kazakhstan lady doing a Thai massage. They wanted Thai girls doing it, which is kind of, correct, right? And, just the effort that company put into source staff to bring over from Indonesia or the Philippines. When I used to meet her a lot after work to come home from work when she finished. And I'd always see the girls there when they'd finish at the same time. We'd all walk to the train station together to go home. It's called a yada. Most are 200 to 250 tons. I was a faller fella. Yeah, I watched these shows are insane. Ironwood, like really, like at the end of the day, right? And I say this because people praise how good I am at my job on cruise ships. The company that I work for, literally would fly me back tomorrow to a cruise ship. They would fly me somewhere to work on a ship, because I'm good at retail. I'm good at what I do on the ships, good at selling, customers talking, and good at all the back of house stuff. So receiving the stock, understanding the procedure of living and working on a cruise ship. And and I kind of say that for anybody, anybody that's in their field, that you're the best at what you do because you've put the effort in to learn it, the skill over the years, the safety aspect of that, your job for sure, right? And, I would never question someone else's skill at a job, because, I think you could do this better or that better. You know what I mean? You're good because you're good at what you do, right? And fellas are good fellas. That's kind of interesting. Okay, what is a fella buncher? Oh, Blim Jim. How's it going, Blim Jim? Good to see you in the live stream. There's a few of us here, not too many. I like how everyone's kind of got their little icons and names against them. So, actually, yesterday when I was at the train station, and I should have asked, there was a couple of girls, probably I would say college or university age girls that were super tall, and I reckon they were probably volleyball players or basketball players in Moscow or in St. Petersburg. Maybe they were taking the train to another city. Yeah, it's oh, you're fabulous. Nice. Yeah, I'm good. Now I've got my internet working, and I do hope that this screen, if I do my hands like this, please tell me that it's consistently not blurry. I think the image is not sharp, and I know that because I'm using a webcam, and that's my downfall. I think now, what do you reckon I should say to my wife? Should I get a webcam or a new camera, or should we get a microwave, or should we get a bottle of perfume? What do you think my wife would say to that? She'd probably still say perfume, I think. So, sorry. Yeah. Thanks again, everybody. I know I keep saying thanks way too much. You know what gets me right? Like the YouTube, if anyone watches YouTube and so on, is you kind of feel like you know the person, when you watch them a lot and you get to know them, and you're kind of waiting for the next video, right? And what they're up to and what they're doing, or what their channel, whatever the niche of the channel is, what their next thing is of their niche of their channel is. And it's kind of, you get kind of accustomed to that person quite a lot, and who they are and how they act. And I think that's kind of neat about YouTube. I think it is anyway, because it's me looking at a camera, you guys looking at a screen. And when I watch other YouTubers or watch other channels, whatever they're doing, they're making that content for their viewers or for me, and I'm making the content for you, right? So Does that make sense? Gary saying no, so I wonder if that's yes or no. Oh, 1847 subscribers. That's crazy. And I remember running into my wife when she was asleep when the channel went over 1,000. And I ran in and I actually filmed it on my camera. I set the camera up with a tripod, like to record when it ticked over to 1,000. And it was kind of like a momentous little time. So, all right, everybody. I think I might head off. I'm getting a little bit thirsty. I want to thank everybody. But Beyond Butler on YouTube does what I did at his age, but he works a little north of the location I worked. He's in Canada. By the way, a fella buncher is a machine that does my job much faster. Yeah, it's 10:46 p.m. here. So Tuft, I think you said you're in India, right? You're at 1:15, so 10, 11, 12. 11, 12, 1, 2, 11, 12, 1. So you're 3 hours. Well, 2.5 hours. That's a bit weird. The half hours. Oh, Bijam Butler. I'll have to look him up and see what kind of videos he puts out. Yeah, I think it's insane. Especially the mountain loggers, and like you're saying, these different names of the Yada and things like that. Yeah, it's like people that work on the oil rigs, right? They've got the different names for each person's role on the oil rigs. Yeah, it's very extremely skilled. I don't even want to use like the secateurs to cut like the trees at someone's house. All right. Okay, everybody. I think I'm going to head off. So whoever's still here live, maybe Tuft, Gary, Ironwood, Bim Jim, maybe Brandon. Again, thank you for the super chat, Brandon. Much appreciated. That's basically paid off the router. So it goes a long way. I know the way the payment is, it's kind of delayed a month, but it goes a long way towards Jen and I's life here, and what to expect. What we're doing. So yeah, I'm out of here. I'm a little bit thirsty. Like really, I need to stress for a few minutes. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad the YouTube. I'm glad the live stream worked. The Wi-Fi worked. I'm so happy that it's stable, and everything's good. So, and on the cruise ships we do. Actually, how do we do it? I've forgotten. Oh, it's like this. Funnel bump. I keep forgetting how we do it. There's on the cruise ships they come up with. Whoever came up with it, I don't know, but is the funnel bump. Because on the cruise ship, on the Carnival, they've got the funnel. It's meant to be like that. And you do. Thanks, Russell. Have a good night. In Russia, you send me money. I'm not sure what that means. You want me to send you money? I guess through super chats, I can receive money. Directly, basically goes via Google AdSense, and then comes through to my Australian bank account. And then we've now got a connection in Australia who can send rubles to my wife's bank. And we can get money that way. It works for us. I mean, for Russian YouTubers, it's a little bit more different. So, yeah, Brandon, I'll have to change the name of my login for my internet. It's actually, the when you see the list of the available networks, it says Russell on mine, very boringly Russell. The lady today, when we were at the shop at the office, she basically asked me, what was the login you want and what's the password you want? And it's, it's what it is. It's all set up. So yeah, thanks everybody. 2 clinking beers. Oh, that's what it's meant to look like on your emoji there, but it's a funnel bump. Bim Jim said I missed the commas. You send me money? I'm not sure. I still don't know. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream right here. Thanks, everybody, and have a good night, good evening, good day, good morning. I'm so happy this worked. So happy. And I'm so happy you guys were all here to join for the first better live stream. So, bye.